China now has two of what appear to be the most powerful models ever made, and they're completely open.
Eric Schmidt recently discussed how China currently has two of the most powerful AI models, and both are open source. In this video, we'll explore his statements in more detail. We're focusing on Eric Schmidt because he's the former CEO of Google, offering valuable insights into the AI landscape. He recently gave a talk at Stanford that went viral, and his remarks on AI are causing a stir throughout the entire community. Let's dive into some of his latest comments from a recent interview. I'll break them down in detail, providing plenty of information to help you clearly understand the direction AI is headed in the near future.
Um, there were two libraries from China that were released, open source. One is a problem solver that's very powerful, and another one is a large language model that's equal, and in some cases exceeds the one from Meta, with it they use every day. It's called Llama 3, 400 billion. I was shocked when I read this because I had assumed that in my conversation with the Chinese, that they were 2 to 3 years late. It looks to me like it's within a year now. So it'd be fair to say it's the US and then China within a year's time. Everyone else is well behind.
One of the key models being discussed is DeepSeek R1. If you're not familiar with it, this model went viral in a big way. It amassed an impressive 2.8 million views, over 3,000 retweets, and 4,000 likes. DeepSeek R1 was essentially China's response to Model 01, which they referred to as the R1 Lite Preview. What made this model particularly remarkable was how unexpected it was. While OpenAI's Model 01 took many by surprise, those who closely followed the research might have anticipated it. However, the real surprise was how DeepSeek R1 not only replicated the performance of Model 01, but, in some cases, even surpassed it. When examining the benchmarks, it's clear that China is not as far behind in AI development as previously thought. Eric Schmidt initially estimated that China was about 2 to 3 years behind, but recent data suggests they are only 6 months to a year behind. In fact, if we consider the progress made by certain companies in closed-source environments, some might argue that they are ahead. These companies appear capable of deploying AI models faster than major players like Google, OpenAI, and Anthropic. This rapid advancement is genuinely surprising when we evaluate the entire AI landscape. We've got more benchmarks to share, and as you can see, the purple bar on the left is outperforming the O1 preview, represented by the green bar right next to it. Honestly, this is quite surprising. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's genuinely shocking. What's even more intriguing is how unexpected this update is. I didn't anticipate it at all. If anything, I would have assumed that an American company would be leading the charge in development. But here we are, seeing remarkable progress from open source platforms too, which is truly fascinating. If you're curious about the model being discussed, it's actually quite popular for running AI models locally on your computer. The model in question is Qwen 2.5, developed by Alibaba Cloud. As you may know, Alibaba is a major tech company, and they've open-sourced this model, officially called Qwen 2.572b Instruct. It has 72 billion parameters. Not the largest out there, but it excels at specific tasks. What's remarkable is that on the Compass Large Language Model leaderboard, Qwen 2.572b Instruct has outperformed some cutting-edge models like Claude 3.5, Sonnet, and even GPT-4 Turbo. This is impressive given how rapidly these models are evolving. Just a few months ago, we were amazed by an earlier version, and now Qwen 2.5 has made significant strides. The pace of AI development is astonishing, especially when we consider how quickly models like this are advancing. It's even more surprising given the challenges China faces in the AI space. Yet, they continue to push boundaries, delivering impressive results that catch the industry off guard. Recently, stricter restrictions have been implemented. For example, SMC has taken significant action by halting the production of advanced AI chips for China. Starting Monday, the world's largest contract chip maker announced its decision to comply with U.S. regulations, ensuring that China cannot access the latest processors. To put it simply, if you're not familiar with TSMC, they're one of the most crucial companies in the AI industry. They manufacture nearly all of the chips for NVIDIA and are responsible for producing, I believe around 90% of the world's AI chips are produced there, or something close to that. It's really mind-blowing. They are essentially halting the production of their most advanced AI chips due to ongoing restrictions from Washington, which aims to curb Beijing's AI ambitions. As a result, China faces significant limitations in acquiring chips from TSMC. TSMC announced that they have informed their Chinese customers they will no longer produce AI chips using advanced process nodes of 7 nanometers or smaller. Moving forward, any future supply of semiconductors to Chinese customers will require an approval process, likely involving U.S. oversight. This is quite significant, considering the implications it has on the semiconductor industry and geopolitics. At the moment, TSMC has implemented an extensive export control system. What's fascinating, though, is that they're not the only company dealing with this issue. Others are facing similar challenges as well. As we can see around the leaderboard highlights an interesting model. If you take a closer look at rank 7, which could arguably be considered around rank 4, you'll notice a model named Yi Lightning. This model was developed by a researcher named Kayu Li. Despite facing certain restrictions, he points out that while training AI models used to cost billions of dollars, companies like his in China are still managing to push forward and stay competitive.
And now is the third best modeling company in the world, ranking number 6 in models measured by LMSys and UC Berkeley. But the most amazing thing, I think, the thing that shocks my friends in the Silicon Valley is not just our performance, but that we train the model with only $3 million. And GPT-4 was trained by 80 to 100 million. And GPT-5 is rumored to be trained by about $1 billion. So it is not the case. We believe in scaling law, but when you do excellent detailed engineering, it is not the case you have to spend $1 billion to train a great model. As a company in China, first, we have limited access to GPUs due to the US regulations. And secondly, the Chinese companies are not valued what American companies are. I mean, we're valued at a fraction of the equivalent American company. So when we have less money and difficulty to get GPUs, I truly believe that necessity is the mother of innovation. So when we only have 2,000 GPUs, well, the team has to figure out how to use it. I, as the CEO, have to figure out how to prioritize it. And then not only do we have to make training fast, we have to make inference fast.
Now, it's not just Eric Schmidt saying this. You might recall the video I made recently, where I talked about Congress pushing forward with a Manhattan Project-style initiative for AGI. As you can see, Congress is recommending that the U.S. take action to stay ahead of other countries. They're emphasizing the need to support U.S. companies in developing AGI and ensuring it remains under U.S. control before other nations can catch up.